Good morning, or good morning. I'm eating lunch. Mm. I just want to talk about Donald Trump working at McDonald's. I'll be honest. I know it's just a political thing. He worked there for like 15 minutes, but it conveys such a big message for him to be willing to go down there where average people work, where poor people work. And I know it's all scripted and everything, but if you've seen any of the videos of Donald Trump meeting with the people that he's handing the food to, everybody is so excited to see him and greet him and talk to him and tell him the things they want to tell him. And he's also very complimentary towards all the families and anybody that showed up to receive food, basically. And I don't think the act alone, I don't think the act alone of Donald Trump going to work for McDonald's really hit me. But when I looked at the women and the men they looked hopeful when they looked at Donald Trump. They were eager to shake his hands, and they just looked so joyful and so happy to be a part of that McDonald's working situation. And honestly, I don't even know. I think it'd be a great honor to meet Donald Trump as well. But when you think about what he's doing to try to garner their votes of the American people, to show that he's willing to do whatever it takes, basically. And I know it's like a jab at Kamala for him to do this because he says Kamala basically never worked at McDonald's, and basically she's lying. If she ever said it, she's lying because McDonald's has said 4 times, according to him, that she's never worked at McDonald's. And the big joke here is that he's worked 15 minutes more than Kamala has ever worked in McDonald's. And I just think it's such an awesome thing for him to do that. I think it's a really big thing for him to do that, to get on our level, in the sense that We're just everyday Americans trying to get by, and he stops by McDonald's, and he surprises people, and it's not really a surprise because I know it's all uh, I guess in a sense catered because they're Secret Service and they have to make sure that people that are showing up are not bad people, and they're making sure they don't have weapons or anything in their car that they shouldn't have whenever they meet Donald Trump. But I still think that what he did is still he's still doing way more than Kamala is doing. Honestly, I don't even know what she's been doing, if I'm honest. Except for that one dumb podcast that she went on to talk about things that are irrelevant to America. And she went on Fox, and I don't understand what. I mean, I watched the Fox interview because I make shorts on all of hers and all of his, and I try to be honest. But honestly, like half the time, I feel like I'm making fun of Kamala. I feel like I'm making fun of her, and not because I'm trying to distort what she's saying, but because of the fact that she's just not even answering the questions. Like Fox, they grilled her like really hard. They grilled her pretty good, and I felt like she was deflecting, and she's just not answering the questions. And she's not even doing any political stunts. Like I know Donald Trump, he's not like genuinely working, but still, he's still doing way more to show people that he cares and that he wants their vote, and he's the man for the job. I know he's a billionaire. What's he doing at McDonald's? But I don't know. It's the effort that counts. It's the effort that counts, and then to see the joy on everybody's face when they're so happy and they're so giddy. Like there was one lady, she was just like, she pulled up and Donald Trump's standing there, and she just closed her eyes and just like she's almost like in disbelief and giddy that Donald Trump is serving her food, and she's just like it's like a little kid basically, and it's just to me that's exactly what Donald Trump is inspiring in the American people is just hope and peace and joy, and the possibility of a new country basically, and to see like the reaction of people, that's what got me, like I part of me inside just I felt something deep in my soul, like wow, these people are. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Nice. You are nice. Your name fits you. Oh, maybe it's dead. Yeah, maybe it's dead. Ah, it's depressing. It's really depressing. Ye- So sorry. I guess maybe everybody left. I don't know. Anywho, I'm so sorry the mic I guess died on me. I appreciate you. Nice. You're the man. I appreciate you, brother. You saved my butt. Anyways, I'm on lunch, and I felt like I had to say this because um it's amazing what Donald Trump is doing. I know what he's doing is not a lot, and it's kind of a mockery in a sense that he's going down to McDonald's. He's pretending like he's working, and he's also mocking Kamala for saying she worked somewhere when she really didn't. It almost feels like Kamala and Tim Walz belong together. You know, Tim Walz said he was in Tiananmen Square. I don't honestly know if he was. And then Kamala said she worked at McDonald's, and McDonald's cannot confirm that she worked there, honestly. And I just think what he's doing everything that he can to garner the vote of people, to show that he really cares, even if it's a political skit, a political skit to look better. I still appreciate that more than what Kamala is doing. I don't appreciate her going on stupid podcasts that have no relevance to America, like talking about sex. Like who cares? Like we are concerned about eggs. We are concerned about beef. We're concerned about chicken. We're concerned about our daily lives. We're concerned about gas. We're not concerned about what position this, what position that. Like I didn't even watch it. I just presumed from what I've seen people talk about that Kamala was on that stupid podcast. Like nobody cares about sex. We're talking about eggs. We're talking about beef. We're talking about steak. We're talking about hot dogs and buns and being able to afford the things that we want to afford so we can enjoy our lives. And I think Donald Trump is doing everything. And before the mic got cut, I was saying that this reminds me of Hillary versus Donald Trump. Hillary was not doing that much. She was doing her typical rallies. She wasn't going into any areas where she wasn't popular in. She was sticking to what she was best at, which is just some rallies. But Donald Trump is going everywhere. Like I think if you follow his YouTube, he's literally like he went from like Pennsylvania to not to Washington, Pennsylvania to Wisconsin, back to Pennsylvania to like Nevada to Arizona to Florida. I mean, he's going everywhere, and he's like a machine. No opinion. I don't really know because all the fact on P Diddy's not out, so I don't really care, and it's got no relevance to me because I don't know him. I don't know. Sorry, I better just try to buckle this thing close to me. Anyways, yeah, it just reminds me of Hillary versus Donald Trump, and Donald Trump did everything in his power to garner the votes of the Americans, and honestly, I think Donald Trump is going to take it. And the only way he's going to lose it if some funny business goes on late at night. I'm not going to say what because you know what? I think if you say what happened that night, you're probably going to get banned. You're probably going to get like I'd probably get banned if I say what happened on election night 2020. But we all know some funny business happened down that night. I mean, some weird stuff went down. But I do believe that if no funny business happens, Donald Trump wins by landslides. Like if you look at my shorts, I guess you can't look at my shorts, like my short videos I'm making about Donald Trump and Kamala. Every time I put a short out, and even the most popular ones that I put out there, it's like 800 likes to like 30 or 40 likes or 40 dislikes. And the if that's a community of people that are watching, and there's some people that don't watch and don't like it, if people were so adamant about Kamala being the president, I think my like and my dislikes on my shorts would be inverse. My likes would be like 20, and my dislikes would be like 800. But I really feel like genuinely believe that most like it's gonna be a landslide if there's no funny business. It's gonna be like 80-20, honestly, Donald Trump. That's my opinion. And I'm going based off of all of my likes and dislikes on all of my shorts, because there are people who watch my shorts who don't like me, don't like what I put on there, and they actively dislike and they comment. And there are people who really, really, really like Donald Trump, and they always like any content that's positive towards Trump. But I really do believe, based on my likes and dislikes on all of my shorts, that it's going to be a landslide for Donald Trump. And I really feel like this political skit that he put on at McDonald's, I really believe that this is going to send people over the edge. It's going to also send over the edge all the people on the fence. I'm sorry, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, but yeah, I really do feel like this is going to send everybody over the edge. And I'm really sorry if you can't hear me or it's really hard to understand. I don't know why I even have the car on. I'm crazy. But anyways, yeah, I think this is on top of this, it's going to send everybody who's on the fence over to the right personally. And everybody on the left, they're already basically stuck on the left. They're pretty set in stone on where they want to be. But I mean, you might get some people to come on over, but generally, I don't think you're gonna get anybody from the left anymore. But I do feel as though this is the skit that he needed to basically guarantee his I'm sorry, his presidency. I'm sorry, I can't speak. But it really resonated with me personally. I almost wanted to go grab McDonald's for lunch. That's how much it resonated with me. I'm like, you know what? I think I'm about to go grab McDonald's for lunch. But then I decided, you know what? I got to stick on the diet. So, but anywho, it's just amazing to me. It's absolutely amazing to me what he's able and willing to do. That he doesn't have to do any of that. I think he's already got more than enough traction and motion and momentum that he doesn't even need to do this. And if he keeps this up, I think he's gonna easily win. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about it because I'm gonna make shorts on Donald Trump being at McDonald's, and I just wanted to say how excited I am and how awesome I think it is that he's doing that. I know it's just a McDonald's stunt. I just I still appreciate it versus Kamala, and I'd like to see where Kamala goes. I think somebody had put a poll up like, would you pick the McDonald's or would you pick the Kamala Arby? And it just feels like the only way for Kamala to come back at this is if I don't know, maybe she goes work as a produce stalker. That's like the only way she could come back from this personally. Because you know what? That's a hard blow to take, and Donald Trump is just laying it on her, personally. But yeah, I'm excited, and I was just so eager to put out shorts that I was so mad that every time somebody needed me at work, I'm like, oh, just give me some time. I want to make shorts for this, you know, and I'm eager. I'm eager to see what else comes from this, And I know we only have like literally we have less than a month. And I know maybe some of you don't want to vote, and maybe some of you do want to vote, and some of you want to go Donald Trump, and some of you want to go Kamal. But I mean, I think more importantly than anything, don't look at who Donald Trump is and don't look at who Kamala is. Just look at their records, compare the records, and be honest with yourself. Don't just be an emotional voter. Look at the record of Kamala and look at the record of Donald Trump. They've both they have both been in positions of power. And if you look at Kamala and you look at and Donald Trump, I think people were happier during time of Donald Trump. And me personally, I've been less happy during the time of Kamala. That's just my personal opinion. And I know everybody's like, well, don't just look at Kamala. That was Joe Biden's fault. Well, I don't think Joe Biden was fully aware of everything that was going on the entire time. And I have a feeling that maybe Kamala was running the show a smidgen, like a little bit, because she was obviously the most coherent of the two. But if you compare it, I mean, that was still her. That was her vice presidency. She still had a big impact and still had a big say. I mean, they even call her the border czar. Honestly, if they are willing to call her that, that means she's probably got a really big impact on what's going on there. But when you compare the two records, I mean, I know Donald Trump, he's said things and he's done things probably that are not, people might say, morally, they can't accept it. But if you also look at Kamala, she's done things that are not morally acceptable either. So let's not judge them based on what they've done right or wrong morally. Let's just judge them based on what they say they're going to do and what they have done. Let's just do that. And I mean, you look at Kamala. I mean, eggs is comparable to beef. Like when I have to buy a pound of beef and I have to buy like a dozen eggs, like I don't like it. I really don't. I hate it. And I have a big family, so my whole family feels it. But even during Donald Trump, I mean, I had a stable job and I had money. I know COVID was bad, but still, I know people judge him like, oh, he was the one who ruined everybody, and COVID is his fault, and my mother and my father and whatever, my loved ones died basically because of him because he mismanaged COVID. But I'm gonna tell you, in my from me only, my opinion only, that if you were handed a really hard situation like COVID, what would you have done? And and you have, obviously we all have hindsight. 2020 is hindsight, but I still think, and I personally give Donald Trump a C, and this is no pun intended. I give him a C for how he managed COVID, because that's a really big situation to handle, and I think that he did the best he could. I mean, could you imagine if VP Harris had to manage COVID, if she had to deal with COVID, if she had to be the person in charge during COVID, we'd all be wearing spacesuits at this. We still all be wearing spacesuits. Everybody would have their own respirators, and you'd have to hop in the shower, decontaminate before you get into the house, and the shelves would be empty, barren, and it probably would have been World War III if Kamala had to manage COVID. That's my personal opinion. When you think about it, she has mismanaged her presidency. If you ask her vice presidency, I'd almost call her presidency, because she was more in charge than Joe Biden. I almost feel like Joe Biden was just kind of like a figure, like a stick figure that you put up in front of everybody, and the real people are behind him. You know what I mean? And yeah, sorry, but yeah, you gotta vote based on what you know about these people, based on what they've done and what they haven't done. And in my opinion, just the price of everything is outrageous. Like, people are starting to think about getting chickens. Like, people that don't even live in the country, who normally don't even care about chickens, they're like, maybe we need to source our own eggs. Maybe we need to source our own beef. Like, that's how bad things are getting when people in the cities are thinking about getting their own sources of food, like getting chickens, going to the countryside and asking somebody to butcher a cow. That's rough when you have to figure out how you're going to feed your family and how you can keep it sustainable. And I've thought about it too. Like, I thought about, like, maybe I have to go hunting. Maybe I have to go, I don't know, do something, and that's a failure in my opinion. If the American people are not food stable, because you cannot keep your prices down, then it's your fault. I mean, let's be realistic. And I'm not into economics or anything like that, but what they're saying about drilling and getting oil, I think that is the key. If you lower the cost of gas, I mean, generally everything will go down. I don't know how much it's going to go down, but I do believe it's going to drop the prices of eggs. It's going to drop the prices of beef. It's going to drop the prices of gas, just to drive around and not feel like you have to fill up every time you go home. And thankfully, it's not that bad in the South. But I know the people on the East Coast and the West Coast, they're really feeling, like $5 gas. Like, I can't even imagine having to do $5 gas. I mean, that would scare me. Like, I would be afraid. I would run. I would run to work, and I would walk, and I would bike. And that's probably what people are doing. That's what you've got to do. I mean, people are doing what they have to do. Thankfully, people are trying to hold on to what they're holding on to. But it can only last for so long. People can only run and bike and walk to work for so long, because winter's about to hit and it's about to be cold. And ain't nobody walking or running. People want to be in the nice hot car whenever it's cold, and they want to be able to get to work safely and without dying. You know what I mean? And it's just not sustainable. And I'm thankful that there's a new election coming through, but I don't know what's going to happen. My hope is that Donald Trump wins. I really hope that he does win. I can't guarantee anything, but you know what? My opinion also is, even if Kamala wins, God can use both those people. I don't care what happens. God can use both parties personally. If you look in the Bible, God has been able to use evil people and good people personally. So, I mean, I can only imagine it will get worse with Kamala if she actually becomes president. I mean, she recently denounced somebody who was talking about Jesus at her rally, and she's like, "You're at the wrong rally." And that's just the basis of America, like, to be able to talk about Jesus or your belief, and for her to be like, "Nah, you're at the wrong rally." I mean, she's basically cutting out part of her voting base. I know there are probably Christians that are voting for Kamala, but for her to say that, she's obviously anti-Christian. anti-American because that's like the basics of America. For you to say you're at the wrong rally, no, because look at the Donald Trump rally. Like they don't care if you're gay, they don't care if you're Christian, they don't care if you're black, white, Asian, Hispanic, mixed, Latino. They don't care about that. You can go to any of the rallies and you can enjoy your time there, even if you disagree, and you're not going to get shunned, you're not going to get shouted, you're not going to get thrown out, you're not going to get all the glaring eyes. Everybody loves you and seems to care about you at the rallies. And there's just there's such a huge contrast when you compare. Oh, my day, somebody scared me. So whoops. Anyways, there's such a big contrast when you look at the rallies from Donald Trump and you look at the rallies from Harris. And I imagine whenever there's a Harris Walls rally, they zoom in a lot because there's probably not that many people. But when you see the Donald Trump rallies, they zoom out. They zoom way out because they want you to see the impact that his rally has, the gravity, the magnitude of his rallies, because he does garner a lot of the American people's votes. And I know that they're talking in previous elections like he didn't win the popular vote, so he shouldn't win. I do believe he's going to have the popular vote, and I do believe he's going to have the all the I don't know electoral. I think he's going to get all the electoral college votes as well. So I personally think it's going to go in his direction. But anyways, on to what I was just talking about the McDonald's stunt. I mean, it's just mind blowing that he's willing to do that. And if you guys have any opinions on it, you guys can. You know what, brother? He is working the camera. I'm not even gonna lie. The man is working the camera. I mean, look at it. I mean, this camera. I'm working the camera right now. I'm trying to garner more views. I'm trying to get more attention. The brother is doing the same thing too. Can you hate a man for trying to work his game? Don't hate the game, or don't hate the player. Hate the game. You know what I mean? I mean the. I mean, I don't see you hating on Kamala. Kamala's working the cameras too. She's working the cameras on Call Her Daddy. I mean, where's the hate on that? She's at a stupid podcast that nobody cares about. Like, go to the podcast where they actually ask her questions about America, asking questions about how she's going to bring the price of gas, the price of all of these commodities, how she's going to bring all of them down. Why didn't she go on one of those? You know? And I appreciate him working the camera. He actually is a funny dude. He literally asked the guy, I would like to work at your frying counter. What are you gonna pay me? What are you gonna pay a billionaire? Like, is that not funny to me or funny to you? That's funny to me, man. And if you don't even have the sense of humor and the decency to laugh at a joke, no matter who it comes from, then I just can't help you. Nobody can help you if you can't even laugh at a joke. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a man trying to do everything in his power to garner the votes. I mean, is there something wrong with that? I mean, look at him. He's working too. I mean, like I said earlier, he went from like Pennsylvania all the way to Wisconsin, back to Pennsylvania, all the way to like Nevada, and then from Nevada to back to Pennsylvania. And while he's doing all this, he's also doing podcasts while he's in town. I mean, he's not just saying, all right, let's hit that one rally and this one rally and this one rally and let's call it a day. The guy's like rally, podcast, rally. I mean, the dude is legitimately working. I mean, he's in the public eye. I would hope he's working cameras. So I mean, can't hate the man for. I mean, he's working like America is his business. Like he's trying to become a trillionaire or something. You know what I mean? And all the what do you call them? All of the conspiracy theorists are like, oh yeah, well Donald Trump is trying to do this and that. Like I see him. I personally see a man who is trying to save America. That's what I see. And I don't even agree with him personally on everything. And I'll be honest, I don't agree with him on everything. But I still think he's still the better candidate. I mean, like, I don't agree with him on abortion. I believe it belongs on a state level. And he doesn't agree with that. That's fine. I agree. I believe that abortion is murder and it should just be completely outright outlawed. But he doesn't believe that. He believes in abortion in which involves incest and what else? What the most common atypical reasoning for abortion, and I don't agree with him on it. But you know what? He's still probably the better option because he's gonna bring the prices of everything down. Because I know I want to fight for abortion. I want to outlaw it, but I still have to live too. And you know what? I used to think that Donald Trump versus Hillary, like it was the lesser of two evils. I really don't think it's a lesser of two evils in this situation. I think it's still good versus bad. That's just my view. And I know some people don't like that spin on it because they're like, well, it's a two-party system. I don't care for a two-party system either. But you know what? It is literally what is before you. You have to decide what you're going to do. There's two parties, two parties. There's no there's no libertarian, there's no constitutionist, there's no communism party. There's just two parties that are voting that you can vote for, and you've got to decide. And you can write in whoever you want to write in, but just realize it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter who you write in, because if Donald Trump can garner millions, like hundreds, of, like not hundreds, like tens and like whatever, like 70, 80 million votes, then your vote, if you go somewhere else, it's not going to matter because he's going to garner most of the votes. So even if you write in Ted Cruz or you write in JFK or RFK, whatever his name is, it's not going to matter in the long run. So I just think that despite the fact that I don't like everything he does and says, and I don't like that it's a two-party voting system, and I don't agree with him on certain topics, and I don't think he's even a strong Christian, if he even is a Christian, that I still believe that he's still the better option, that he's still going to do good for America. That's just my personal opinion. And it's already evident in the work that he's done in his previous experience as president of the United States. And if you look at VP Harris, her her work isn't even done yet. She's still a vice president, and during her vice presidency, she didn't even go visit the most critical areas. Like that was such an easy target for her to be like, you know what? There are people that are hurting and in need right now. Let us go there. Let's, even if it's a political stunt, let's go there and let's hand out food. Let's. Where was she? And she's in charge of FEMA. Why is she not making FEMA move? You know what I mean? She's still in charge and she's not doing her job as it stands. She really isn't. So I'm going based off Donald Trump's experience and Kamala currently as she is the vice president. And she's not doing a great job. She didn't show up for the people in North Carolina. She didn't show up for the people in Georgia or in Florida or any of the other states that were affected and hurt, like either through hurricanes or tornadoes. She didn't show up. So why would you vote for her? You know, and I'm glad that she's kind of dumb. I'm really glad she's kind of dumb and she seems pretty oblivious, because if she was any smarter, man, she'd be one evil person. If she was any smarter, she'd be an evil person, a really evil person. And I'm trying not to talk bad about her like in a really cynical and just an evil way. I just don't think she's a good person. And she didn't show up for the people that needed her. And even if they didn't vote for her, she still represents them, and she should have went down to all the states, every state that was affected, and hit up at least one city in all the states, at least the most affected cities. And she didn't do that. So if she's not going to do that as the VP, will she do that as the president, the commander in chief? Will she do that? Probably not. It's pretty obvious. And I'm not really here to convince anybody. I'm just pointing out obvious things that are coming to mind at the top of my brain right now. The most obvious things, that if she cannot do what she's supposed to do right now, why give her more power so she can do less? Why? I mean, she ain't doing nothing right now. I mean, I know she's on a campaign trail, but she could easily have diverted a few days and say, I'm really sorry for the rallies I'm missing, but I really believe that the people of North Carolina, the people of Florida, they need me and I need to go there. And as a VP, I have to do my job. That seems like the most logical and common sense thing to do. And that's why I say if she was any smarter, she would probably be evil, you know? But she's not that smart. And I know Donald Trump says she's not very bright. And I'm starting, when I think it out, I really don't think she's that bright. I really don't think about it. Like that was the most common sense thing to do, to go see the people who are hurt. Like that's what you do when anybody's hurt. You go see them. In any area that's affected, you go assist them. And now, like literally, the only people that are really helping are the local ministries. Like I know one ministry, Grindstone Ministries, the guy who is Bear Nation, Bear Independent. He's got his own thing, Grindstone Ministries. He's already out there. He's doing work. And the guy Wrangler Star, the guy on YouTube, Wrangler Star, he's out there. He's helping cut down trees. He's out there like doing all the work that FEMA should be doing, all the work that the president should be aware of. And you hear these stories about FEMA, like basically they're like, you can't take a shower in there because you don't have flip flops. You can't bring those saws in. You can't bring any of that extra equipment in because we don't approve that. And it's just like, you're the VP. You're in charge right now. You know, Sleepy Joe is sleeping right now. You have such an easy job right now to just say, hey guys, get them the resources they need and get it done. But it's just like, it's just mind boggling. It's absolutely mind boggling. Like it just feels like common sense. Like I don't want to be president, but I feel like if my neighborhood, like right where I lived, was hit, I would be like, hey guys, I'm sorry, I cannot come to work. I need to go help my neighbors out. I need to go help them clear the trees out, all the limbs, and help them get all their belongings and help them out. It's just common sense. I would do that. And if I was president, I feel like I would just say, hey guys, I know that we suck. Okay, no, I wouldn't say that we suck as a VP and everything, but I would just say, hey, let's just try our hardest to get them what they need, get them help they need, and if anybody wants to volunteer, let them volunteer. But there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing, and I know they're doing their best. I think they are, even though their best is like half of what Donald Trump would have done. Donald Trump would have sent in the military. He would have, like JD Vance said, he would have sent in the 82nd Airborne. They would have sent them in. They would help clear it out. They would have gave resources to save people who were in dire need, saved animals that were beloved to people. And I think Donald Trump would have done all that and more. And he would have given them financial assistance, and FEMA would have been properly prepared to help Red Cross if they're even a decent thing. Maybe they might have been able to help. But like, good grief, like the reaction on that was poor, and it's gonna hurt her. It's gonna hurt her if they even have one more debate. If they have even one more debate, she's gonna get slaughtered by this next debate. Anyways, I am. Hey, bud. Hey, Rick Terry. God bless you. I know you don't like what I'm saying, but I'm not gonna shut up because it's my platform. So have a good day, brother. And if you don't stop, I'll just have to block you like a little baby. So you can be respectful, or you can go home like a little baby. It's up to you. Because mama didn't raise you to talk disrespectful, and I'm not raising my kid to be disrespectful either. So you should watch what you say, because in the real world, when you tell somebody to shut up, it doesn't end well. There are people who know things. You know what I mean? So be respectful. And I'm not saying anything bad about you or even the Democrats. I'm just saying, vote, vote smart. Vote on the person who is doing the work, who's doing the right things. Like Donald Trump's doing everything he needs to do. He actually went and visited the areas that were hit, and he didn't have to, because that's not his job as a as a private citizen. He doesn't have to, but he does it. I mean, it just blows my mind. Hey, but never. I'm gonna refrain from that. But anyways, if you like what you're hearing, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and like. I gotta finish my lunch, and I gotta head back to work. And this is just words from your everyday worker. I'm just out here saying what's on my brain, because you know what? Somebody's got to say it. You know what I mean? Anyways, I'm gonna finish my lunch, and then I'm gonna head back to work. And I hope you have a good day, and God bless. And brother Rick Terry, I forgive you, brother. Don't worry about it. I just prefer everybody to be respectful. You're forgiven, brother. You have a blessed day. And yeah, I'm gonna go back to work. If you like it, subscribe. If you don't, that's okay. Because you know what? We don't have to like everything that we hear and see. And I just hope you have a blessed day. God bless you. I gotta eat this food. I gotta go.